my story and what really like kind of drives me is being able to love others to the best of my ability, and I know the best way I can do that is to continue just to stay rooted in my word, stay rooted in great community and the people around me.
Everyone, welcome to USAM Podcast. My name is Arman Askari and I'm your host. We came so far together. This is our season finale. We've been recording 13 episodes and this is episode number 14. And don't worry, we'll be back beginning of April with our new season. We already started the production for that. And our amazing team are working very hard to make sure that we can produce the best for you. Today we have Joel Walker with us, the OSU soccer team captain. And we're very happy that you said yes, I am podcast. Joel, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing well. Very thankful and honored to be here today. It's great to meet you. It's great to see you, my brother.
Fantastic. Thank you. And Joel is a student athlete. Today's conversation is not going to be about sports, but it's going to be about Joel Walker who plays sports. And we will be getting to know you a lot in this podcast, and I'm pretty sure you will have a story that will inspire so many people that will be watching this episode. Joel, we always start with one simple question, which is simple, but it takes us very interesting places and journeys. And that question is, Joel Walker, what is your story? And if I want to reframe it a little bit, is what events and what stuff shaped your values and your characteristic and made you who you are right now?
Yeah, Oman, that's a great question. A great question. Truly, I'll be a man who will say first and foremost, my story is a story of God's grace and redemption. I'm a young man who was born in Monrovia, Liberia, in West Africa, and I grew up there for 2 years. I was just a little baby when my family and I first came to the States, and I grew up in Chicago for 5 years. Not really. I always want to say this. Actually, I didn't grow up like in the city. I grew up in a nice little suburb right outside of Chicago, but in this place, just my passion and love for my family, my friends, soccer continue to grow, of course. And my family and I were blessed to move to Colorado Springs when I was 7. Here, my dad got a new job, and so we relocated to Colorado Springs. And Armani asked about my story and what really like kind of drives me is being able to love others to the best of my ability. And I know the best way I can do that is to continue just to stay rooted in my word, stay rooted in great community and the people around me. And so I'm just really thankful to be here today. I know that each day is a blessing and an opportunity. I think we can all attest to this, is that no one is promised tomorrow. We've seen from the pandemic just how quick dynamics can shift. And so I'm just truly trying to, especially from this past year, stay present and just continue to stay rooted in my foundation and love my loved ones around me to the best I can.
Joel, today I want to talk to you about spirituality, importance of family, value of character, and at the end, I really want to talk to you about failure, challenge, and how to overcome this. And let's begin with the end in mind. This question I'm going to ask you is inspired by the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And the question is this. Let's imagine you're turning 80 years old. This is your birthday, and you're going to Fred Meyer to buy some groceries. You're coming back home, and all of your family, your kids, your loved ones, they're all there for you. They want to surprise you, and they want to celebrate this amazing day with you. You're receiving a letter from your kids. And in this letter, they're saying, and they're writing this letter to you to let you know what you really mean to them and how you have impacted their lives. What does Joel Walker want this letter to say?
Wow, Amon, you're hitting it early with the deep questions. Man, that's a really beautiful question. It's interesting too. My coach, he asked kind of a similar question towards the end of our season for reflection, and it's not from the 80-year-old perspective. It's actually from when you graduate here. What do you want the community, students, teachers, professors, people like Armand to say about you when you leave? And I think that I'd share similar sentiments when I'm 80 years old. I imagine my kids saying, "Dear Dad," my grandkids saying, "Dear Granddaddy." Thank you for showing us how to love others and walk like Jesus did on this earth. Thank you for showing us how to walk with a biblical love, a love that is patient, a love that is kind, that is gentle, that is not envying, that is not self-seeking. Thank you for just showing us who Christ truly is. And I think as I were to be at this birthday party, I wouldn't want people to focus on me. I want people to celebrate just the beauty of life and what comes with it, and to reflect. And I think that's the beautiful thing about hindsight. I'd hope that if we went around the circle, they remember some of their lowest moments and how they were able to get through those moments, because that's what hindsight allows us to do, allows us to reflect and see the beauty of just so many trials and tribulations. And so on my 80th birthday, I'd want my kids just to remember that I loved them to the best I could by staying rooted in what I was taught from a young age, for sure.
Joel, you are a very spiritual person. God is a big part of your life. And tell us more about that and how impactful being spiritual has been in your whole journey, you know, how having faith helped you to come this far.
Oh man, Armand is everything, my brother. Seriously, it's everything. When I think about just how I was raised, you know, many African nations, Christianity is kind of the foundation, or even a lot of the roots of a lot of the religious and just spiritual things out there. And so I grew up, my dad was a pastor, my mother always, my mom and dad always took us to church. And so kind of these things were instilled for me from a young age. But I always understood, or I guess I grew to understand that my religion isn't only about religion, it's more about relationship and relationship with for me with Jesus. And I know that that's what we're made for too, is a relationship with the people in our lives. It's always interesting. There's a difference between like living in isolation and living in solitude. Solitude is a place of being right with the Father and being right with your community and being able to find peace in these places. But a place of isolation is a place of kind of I think fear and kind of excluding yourself from what's happening in life and not facing the true challenges that are in front of us. And I think the crazy thing about that too is that I've learned through my walk with Christ is that you can kind of battle these tensions at time to not go into this place of isolation, but to find peace in a place of solitude and to find peace in a place of just rest. Truly, this past year, my brother, that's what I've learned is that the Bible says Jesus' yoke is easy, his burden is light. And in life, like I know we're going to talk about failures later. In life, there's a lot of burdens, but I believe that I was invited into this place of not carrying these burdens with a heavy heart, or just trying to take it all on my back. I have community, brothers and sisters, and through prayer, just beautiful places to just find rest and realign my heart with what's will bring just the most joy and peace in my life. And so I'm just really excited to continue this journey in my life, continue to spread the good news, what we call the gospel. But my brother, it shapes everything, especially throughout college. Man, the ups and downs of college, the failures, the successes. For me, without Jesus, I wouldn't be here today, seriously. But I'm just extremely blessed to be where I am today. And my hope is that when I leave this university, people will be drawn closer to him.
I always say life is a roller coaster.
Yes.
It has just so many ups and downs,
Right.
and the most important decision we make in our lives are in those low moments.
Mm.
Because when we are in the low moment, that's the time that we gotta decide: are we going to give up, or are we going to take the blessing, that lesson that this challenge is bringing to us? You know,
Right.
and Connor, Grace, Mela, they all been talking about in last episodes about putting things in perspectives, putting things in perspectives. And, challenge can be hard, but at the same time, if you put them in a right perspective, it's not as hard. So how does having faith help you to kind of not choose the give up option, and you just keep overcoming these challenges?
Mm. That's a great question. I believe faith is having hope in things unseen. And so as we experience these failures, as we experience these trials and tribulations, in the book of James, it talks about um, consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, when you face trials and tribulations of many kind. And back to just faith is having hope in things unseen. I think when you're in school, you fail that exam. I'm sure maybe it wasn't the best thing you wanted. Maybe it wasn't the ideal thing to happen. But you have faith that, hey, I'm here for a reason. Sure, that exam that sucked. That wasn't fun. But I have faith that there are better days to come. That I'm not meant to stay in this place, in this kind of place of failure. But in fact, I'm invited into a place of redemption and even reconciliation with myself and others. And so I think faith is just that anchor that continues to give you vision when things aren't clear, which is just literally so beautiful to witness each and every day. It's fun to witness it in others as well. When you see them battling torn ACL, failed a class, loss of family member, some of the deepest, even just in places of deep depression, some of the deepest and darkest places, and then being able to see them through prayer, through their community, through praying for them praying for themselves, see them just get to a place of just peace in life and growing from that. I think that's what faith produces. It produces character, it produces perseverance, it produces endurance, and so it's just always so interesting how that happens. Often, our darkest places in life is when our faith arises the most, because it's easy per se to have faith when everything's going good, you're getting all the money, your family's doing great, this and that. But we need the test in life to see where our faith is where our faith stands. And I think that's what happens to many people and these trials and tribulations.
My mentor told me one thing. I think it was the first day, the first time or second time that I met him. And he told me, I don't know why I met you today, but there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. And he told me he met somebody 8 years ago, and he did not know why this person came to his life till 7 years after, which that one person opened so many doors to him. That's one person 7 years after. And it's all coming back to that faith and believing that things happen for a reason, anything, just believing God and trusting the journey. You just gotta trust that it's not like we're not talking about like, hey, just pray for money and the money will come to you or happiness will come to you. You got to work for it, but at the same time, just trust your own journey.
Right. Seriously. And that reminds me of Bible talks about faith and deeds. You can't just have deeds without faith, and you can't just have faith without deeds. Faith for just faith's sake, honestly, I believe it doesn't lead to any action or any sense of compassion or caring for people. And deeds just for deeds' sake, it just leads to a heart posture of just performance and of kind of just trying to do things for yourself in a sense. And so that tension is a very beautiful tension, just saying, my brother. It's something that we have to navigate through each and every day of our life, seriously. And what your mentor said about just, like these different things that happen in life, like if we see it as opportunity and as blessings, that's what they'll be. That's what they'll be. Even the worst things, even the worst of things, seriously. But yeah, something as simple as meeting somebody and saying like, man, like, this person might be in my life for just today, or maybe it'll be in it for a elongated season. But just honoring and loving each person that we come across, just as the human beings, the beloved human beings that they are. It produces opportunities like that. It produces friendships and doors like that. Seriously.
Yeah, man. Everything that happens to us is a blessing, you know, and we sometimes we don't know why it is, but in the long run, you will understand. And my perspective changed a lot after my freshman year. End of my freshman year, I lost one of my grandmothers, and it took me 2 months to get over it.
Sorry
But
about that, bro.
yeah, but 6 months ago, I lost my other grandma, and it took me 2 days to get over it. You know, and it was very interesting to me when I think about that. They're both passing, and even the one that just passed recently, she was like someone that I wanted to be. You know, I always looked up to her, and I was like, hey, I love what you do, and she was just she was maybe my first mentor. You know,
Mm.
I just loved her absolutely. But the way I think about that, I thought about she passing away. I started thinking about all the great lessons that she taught me when she was here, and I told this to myself. I told this to myself that hey, from now on, her soul is going to be with me, and that was the moment that I just felt peace, and I was fine, you know, because she's just always with me, you know. And again, it's all coming back to this one concept. You know, you can call it faith, you can call it putting things in perspective, or you can call it whatever you want to. That you just got to know that everything that happens to you, there's a good reason behind it. You know, do not give up on life.
All right.
You
All
know,
right.
because that's the last thing you want to do.
Listen.
Yeah. Joel, you talk a lot about your family too. What was the impact of your family has been into your life?
Man. Oh man. Extensive, my brother. Family's truly everything. I was talking to even my pastor the other week, and he was
Yeah.
talking about my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad, and the beautiful thing about family is that despite whatever the dynamic is between the relationships, those are the people that you share the closest like life experiences with. Of
Yeah.
course, you could go into college or post high school things and
Mhm.
different jobs and careers, but it's like man, those are the people who are literally like there for you
Yeah.
since day one. And of course, there's different family dynamics where maybe things weren't as fruitful or as maybe they're a bit more chaotic, but then you bring in just those friends who are literally like family and literally like it grounds you. It makes you who you are. Your family are the people who shape your habits. I know even right now with my fiance, as it sounds so funny to say, we've been navigating through a lot of our family dynamics. Like for me, I'm very conflict avoidant. I've been working on this throughout this past year, and as for my fiance, she's more feisty and more confrontational. But learning to navigate through these different kind of family dynamics, because my family, growing up, when there's maybe family conflicts, we didn't really address them head on or anything like that. It was more like it was there, and you might acknowledge it briefly, talk briefly, but just don't really talk about it. And so I know that's just a small little tangent there, but just these little experiences that were shaped by family that have formed who I am today. And it's important to not allow that to be your complete identity. Because I think it'd be easy for people to be like, oh, my family's like this, so that's why I'm like this, or this happened to my family, so that's why I'm like this kind of thing. But it's like good or bad, you have the opportunity to reflect on your family dynamic and learn from it, grow from it, and just reflect and see how you can continue to become a better son, a better daughter, and a better friend, a better husband, wife, from learning from these experiences. And I think that's what I really am learning as I'm in my senior year of college now. It's just how to grow from a lot of my family dynamics growing up.
What is the most one of the most important lessons that your mom and dad taught you? that's kind of made you who you are, and it's like one of your values?
It's funny. I've extended on this one now actually, and so my father, he was always rooted in my mother in the three A's. It
Mhm.
was Almighty God, academics, athletics, and it's funny as we talk about family dynamics. This was actually something that shaped me going through college.
Yeah.
But Armand, if I ask you, what's missing from those three A's? It's relationship. Our relationship is, it can be so easy to become very, oh, I love God, so I'm gonna focus on God, be the
Yeah.
best Christian I could be. I love my academics, I'm gonna get a 4.0, be the best this. Athletics, I'm gonna get D1, go pro, this. But if you miss the relationship with God and with others throughout all that, it just becomes so performance based. And so this is something I've really been having to rewire in my heart and my brain for really the past year. Thank God for the pandemic, being able to slow down and reflect during this time, because I actually have this book, my brother. Um, it's called The Emotionally Healthy Leader.
Here.
And um, man, and that's some of the things that it even discusses is just like reflecting on the good. Because like, seriously, like, those three A's are mine. Those are
Yeah.
good three A's. They're good three
Yeah.
A's, to be
Yeah.
fair. But without relationship, without community, without a sense of love rooted in those things, it can actually become so distorted and
Mhm.
not the way things are supposed to be. And so those are really some of my strong foundations that I've had to reflect and rebuild in a sense as I'm thinking about starting my marriage and wanting to have kids in a few years too, which that sounds so crazy to say too. But yeah, relationship I think is what would hold all of those together for sure.
You know, the four main health that we need to always take care of are mental, spiritual, physical, emotional, and the relationship is the emotional one. So, you know, the
Yeah.
three A's cover all the first three, but like the emotional one is all happens with the relationships and learning how to communicate with people.
That's so good. That's so good.
Yeah. Um, so I want to actually give you this opportunity if you want to say anything to your parents right now and say it directly to them and show it to them and let them know that it's for them.
Wow. Oh man. Um, so I guess just to my mom and dad, thank you for teaching me to serve others before myself. And of course, in that, knowing that the best way I can serve others is by being submitted at God's feet, and from overflow of love there, being able to love others to the best of my ability. Thank you for teaching me the importance of hospitality. Thank you for teaching me the importance of saying please and thank you, and for truly always inviting me into things. My dad never forced me to play soccer. My mom never forced me to use manners. It was all an invitation, truly, and of course there were different disciplines why I was disobedient. Um, but truly, everything was an invitation. But most importantly, thank you that through many of our financial struggles growing up, I know it could have been very easy for me to feel the direct impacts of those burdens. But growing up, Armand, they helped me feel like a kid. I always tell people this, you know, growing up, all I had to worry about through a lot of our struggles was just school, soccer, church, friends.
Mhm.
And my parents, they, although I knew there was a lot of financial struggles, like when my dad lost his job, when we're losing family members here and there. But through it all, they just kept inviting me to be a child, and I think that's what has allowed me just to be so filled with joy to this day. It's just being a child. I'll be the first one to say, like, thank you to my parents for letting me know how good it is to laugh, to be goofy. My favorite movie on mine is Kung Fu Panda. I love,
Oh,
yeah, man, Kung Fu Panda. I'm telling you, man. Hey, Poe the Panda, dude. I can go on a whole tangent about how poetic and how beautiful Poe the Panda is, man. Oh man, he's insane. But
I love it.
seriously, but seriously, man, just being a kid, they taught me how to be a kid, which I embody in every bit of my life today, from baking cookies to watching Disney Channel to just man, just trying to have fun in any space I'm in.
It's very important to keep that inner child very, very like
Yes.
alive, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you always, because that's what brings you the joy, you know.
Yeah. Seriously. Seriously.
Yeah. No, I actually watch Disney a lot too. It brings
What,
so much joy, you know.
hey, what's your favorite or some of your favorite Disney movies? Like, have you seen Soul, Inside Out?
I watched Soul. Yeah, I watched Soul, and I love that movie. It was
It's deep.
very, very deep. Yeah, it was very interesting. One of the movies that I just recently watched that I don't know why I have never watched it was Incredibles.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
It's a good one. It's a good one.
that's a very good one. That one,
Yeah.
that one is also very funny. I don't know, I laughed on that one a lot. And yeah, yeah, like I remember back in then I used to watch a lot of Toy Stories.
Yeah. Yeah. Toy
But
Story. That's an OG one for sure. Yeah.
Cars at some point a lot, but yeah.
Yeah. Come on, bro. You're speaking my language right now, bro.
Oh man, yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that, and I'm pretty sure your parents and your family are very proud of you right now. You have gone so far, and there's a bright future waiting for you. Uh, so Joel, what if you want to think about one of the biggest challenge you ever faced in your life? What would that be, and how did you overcome it?
That's a great question. Oh man. Um, yeah, honestly, I think the best challenge I could think about is just this past year. Learn how to slow down. Seriously, learn how to slow down. One, starting in the way I speak. Don't let me fool you. I still speak very fast, but one thing I've been trying to teach myself is to speak
Yeah,
much slower. But we live in a culture um, where everything, especially American society,
yeah,
busy schedule glorified, um, busy planner filled glorified,
mhm,
rising to the top glorified, um, working overtime glorified, and I got to this place where I was just like, man, you're gonna run your place to yourself to a place of exhaustion, and I think it's easy for someone who's type A like me to actually say, "Oh, I thrive in those environments. Give me everything. Give me this. Give me that."
yeah,
By the end of the day, it's like, sure, externally you might be thriving, but how's your soul? How's your heart?
yeah,
Internally, how are you doing mentally, physically, emotionally? And I think one of the biggest challenges I faced was from this past year with taking 7 classes, which God forbid, don't recommend that for anybody. Taking 7 classes my spring term of my junior year. So going straight into my internship and taking 2 classes during that. Um, Man, God bless Nike, but they push their employees for sure to produce great work. And I was just jumping out of a place of just not being emotionally healthy. Externally, sure, things look great. Things look great. Getting good grades, internship with a great company, but I was just living a busy life. Living a busy life, and I think that was one of the biggest challenges I've ever faced was learn how to slow down. One thing that I've really been intentional in just saying no to a lot of things recently. Except for this opportunity, this one I couldn't miss this one on seriously. Especially when this is a shout out to Connor Base and any recommendation from Connor Base. That's something that's always up for grabs for sure. But yeah, just learn how to say no and how to say yes, not saying yes to good things, but saying yes to God's best. There's like with life, there comes many opportunities, a lot of good things, but good versus God's best, there's a whole difference there. And so I think that's the biggest challenge I still face today. I'm still trying to discern and differentiate between what is good versus God's best, and knowing what to say yes to, and most important, knowing what to say no to. Yeah, just slowing down and being steady and steadfast in that.
yeah. I mean, it's good to be busy at the same
Right.
time. Sometimes, you know, when you're busy, and the thing about it, like I felt it at some point in my own journey too. I feel like I'm getting too busy that I cannot do everything right. You know,
Right.
like there's
Right.
just too many too many stuff in the plate that like I'm not sure which one to go, you know?
Seriously.
And that's just a struggle. So it's a very big struggle. But I actually recently figured out I might have ADHD, which is like I just pick up so many different stuff.
Right.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, it explains, you know, someone told me about it and then I was like, it explains, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a way of life. For some people it will work, but at the same time I feel like when you slow down and have to spend more time to kind of figure out who you are and, you know, take some time with yourself, you know,
Right.
because that's something I want to ask you about this too. But one thing that quarantine definitely taught me a lot was to how much I can enjoy myself. You know,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily need to be around people to enjoy and have fun. You know, how much stuff that, how interesting that I can be. You know, just being by myself. You know,
Right.
and loving
Right.
yourself. You know.
And I think that's something a lot of people were forced to learn for sure.
Yeah.
Is how to find that rest in that place of quiet, stillness, people not coming to your house, you not going anywhere. And I think it's funny because in that quiet place, a lot of lessons were probably learned for you, from myself, and hopefully millions of others around the world.
What was the biggest thing you learned from this quarantine?
Biggest thing from quarantine.
Because you didn't have your season screen term, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Honestly, bro, it's probably in a similar breath.
Yeah.
It's slowing down. Learn to slow down. We're literally forced to slow down.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's for sure one of the biggest things. Oh, we should another book drop, brother. This is a book I read during quarantine, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. It's a powerful one. I have a little Cheerios bookmark. But that was a solid one. That was a solid one, though.
I like that one. Let me recommend you one book too.
Yeah,
This book called The Infinite Game.
come on.
The Infinite Game, which
Write that down.
it's all about that life, business, things that we do, they're all infinite, you know?
Hmm.
They are not like soccer that are finite at the end. The referee gonna say, okay, 2-3 or something like that. You know, there's no specific rules for life. And we just in this game between ourselves. That's this. I think it's a very powerful book, and it just teaches you to how to have this infinite mindset. And I think it helps a lot with not comparing yourself to others too, because
Right, which is so important.
yeah, it's a very amazing book. Um, we are getting close to the end of our podcast. I at the end of all of the podcasts, I start with tell me your story, and at the end, I ended with what is the biggest lesson that Joel Walker learned in the life that whoever is watching this, if they hear it and they apply it to their lives, it will make a difference.
So another beautiful question. You hit me with all the beautiful questions. Probably one of my favorite interviews so far, man.
Glad to hear.
Biggest lesson I've learned for me is definitely that the Lord never leave nor forsake me. Amidst the highs, He's there. Amidst the lows, He's there. And in that, you can find rest in that. You can find rest in that. Even right now, with all the things that are going on in life, trying to prepare for a wedding and soccer season and finishing my first term of my MBA program. The list can go on. But it's just that Lord is here with me through it all. He's invited me to continue to partner with Him in the work that He's doing in my life and my heart and many others. And in that, there's just so much beauty. But also, too, it's like I would just tell people just to move with a childlike spirit and everything. I think that's what a place of rest does.
Yeah.
Move in a childlike spirit, because life is too short to not have fun, to not enjoy the precious moments with your loved ones, to not go make some cookies with your best friend. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, that's very important. I want to ask you this one question. This is more of a my question than the Yes and Podcast question, because I'm also I'm a big soccer fan.
Yes, come on.
I'm a very big soccer fan. Do you follow European soccer teams?
I do. Not as in depth as I would like to, for sure, but sadly, I always say sadly, especially the past couple years, my club, me and my dad's club, is Arsenal. What about you?
Oh God, for real?
Yes, about for real.
Yeah, I'm Manchester United, bro.
Oh, man, get out of here! Get out of here, man! Get out of here, man! Get out of here!
No, man. You're actually doing pretty good this season, yeah.
Yeah, you guys are doing bad, brother. You guys are doing bad, man. But,
Arsenal,
hey, man,
I don't know where Arsenal is, like I keep checking the table.
I think we're at 10 or 11 right now. Maybe, I don't even know. But I'm sorry. I was gonna say, you guys lost Jesse Lingard, bro.
We did, yeah.
It's a tough one. But it's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. Sorry,
man. Hey, you support Man United, I support Arsenal. There's still love.
No, for sure. The other team I actually like a lot, and it's actually my first team is AC Milan.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Wait, yeah, because Italian league has been not doing necessarily good in the last couple of years. They're just getting back a little bit,
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully we can, I'm a big. Do you remember Shevchenko?
Shevchenko, of course, bro.
That's my boy.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
One of my teammates, that's his favorite player, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
He's amazing. Damn, number 7. Yeah.
Solid player, man.
All right, Joel, it was great talking to you. And we call our organization Yes, I Am, because we believe you can be whoever you want to, that you put in front of Yes, I Am. You just got to believe it so you can make it. And I want to know what word Joel will put in front of Yes, I Am. Yes, I am what?
What word would I want to put in front of Yes, I Am? Honestly, I'm just gonna say a child. Trying to think. Yes, I am. Loved. Yes, I am loved.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Joel, for being the last guest of this season. And
hey, it's an honor.
I think it was the best ending for this season. The last couple of weeks, we've been just, I feel like it all kind of was like a step. We've been building up to this moment and this conversation that today we had, which it was unique because we did not necessarily focus on spirituality in previous conversations. And I think this was a good place to talk about that as well too. And thank you for saying yes again to Yes I Am podcast. And we are very glad that we had you in Yes I Am. And thank you everyone for watching this episode. I'm pretty sure you enjoyed it. I did not even, I checked just my time to make sure I'm not going past time, because I did not feel the time goes by. So it was, that just shows it was an amazing conversation, and hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you for all your great messages that you all sent in to us. Our team is very energized because of all the great messages that you all keep telling us, like how impactful each episode has been into your life. And Yes And's mentality is we need to get better every single day. We are not an ordinary organization. We are not. We are an extraordinary organization because we want to get better every single day. Within our podcast, within our social media, within our events, everything should improve. And the reason we're going to pause for 2 weeks to posting because we want to evaluate and make sure that we're creating good content and make sure we are doing our best. So stay in touch. We'll be back the first week of April with new episode of Yes I Am Podcast Season 2. Till then, as always, yes I am.